When looking at Expedition 33, sort of trying to remove yourself from where we currently are within the industry, and honestly where we could end up, it was obvious we were always going to get a great game with this title. That's just a given with how this game is, how it is to play, the presentation surrounding it, and the story it's trying to tell. But this easily could have been a situation where Expedition 33 could have turned into one of those overlooked titles. Yeah, let's say the reception in this title was the same, but the player base and audience just wasn't large enough. It could have been a situation where everyone who played it, critics, fans, and all of that, but if not enough people were actually playing it because of other options and even recent releases we had. I mean, even look at the release of this game. It was a Game Pass title, and it wasn't the only one that was released that week. That Oblivion remaster easily could have eclipsed this title, but rather we are now in a situation where both are apparently thriving, and I am glad to see that happen, especially for a fresh new company that made Expedition, and it's currently taking the industry by storm. Some may look at this title and be like, oh wow, all the critics are giving it such high marks, very high review scores, and apparently it's the highest reviewed game on Metacritic by the game's journalists. Personally, I don't care about any of that, and it's rare where what I want to prop up is also something that's also liked by the critics. But Expedition definitely seems like a game that has kind of unified the entire medium in a way. Critics love it, players love it, and it's a great piece of entertainment. I can't help but sing its praises. We rarely see something like this within the gaming space. I would say that even in the last 10 years, there's been a large disconnect between the players and critics and the media. But here we have a title where it seems like we are all behind it. It's this natural, organic kind of movement in a way. Maybe it just has to go with the fact that when talented developers are then able to make smart decisions, their hard work is then seen in every frame of the game. And it all seems like they were trying to do this to curate a very entertaining experience to their audience. No deceptive marketing, no underhanded nonsense, no belittling the players, no agendas infecting the fun, just quality entertainment. In many ways, I think this title will be looked at as an example that others will honestly try to follow or even gleam off of for even making something new their own. Something else to bring up with Expedition 33 is yes, it seems to be getting the love from everywhere, but how are those sales? Are people actually buying this? Yes, it was released on Game Pass, and I'm sure it's doing well for numbers there, in terms of how many people are playing it. But what are the sales? At the end of the day, a great game needs to then sell well, so that we can either see a sequel or maybe more games from these developers, and personally, I want more from this team. Oddly enough, we did see the social media account for Expedition 33 post some numbers for us. Within a few days, it was at 500,000 copies sold. Again, a Game Pass title that people are still buying outside of being on that service, which is great news to see. Then later on, with the game not being even a week old, it sold 1 million copies. That is an impressive feat. Again, this goes back to something that I bring up a lot when it comes to the information that companies decide to announce as it relates to the numbers within their games. When looking at something like, say, Assassin's Creed Shadows, which I did not play, but their social media account was talking up how many players were actually playing their game, but never actually coming out with the numbers for the number of copies that were sold. The sniff test as to why we were not getting that public information is probably because the sold copies were not that much of an impressive number, even though marketing and even the media were trying to gaslight the players into thinking it was selling great because of the players engaged. Or maybe it did or has, I don't know. But if the units were high, then why not just say that outright, like with something with Expedition? See, in the case of Expedition, it just came right out and said it. We are at 1 million copies sold, and there's probably a good chance that by the time I get to release this video, that number could be very much a lot higher, or even double or more. I bring this all up for a few reasons. One, when we have a game that is good to great, and personally that is how I'm finding this title, then I want to prop it up. Even better when it's selling well. And secondly, pay attention to what is said by the company or the media, or sometimes what they do not say. And maybe I'm wrong, but units sold is probably more valuable than players engaged. But with Expedition, players are both engaged and it's selling well. The interesting part with all of this is how Expedition 33 will then affect future titles within the industry. There is a part of me that thinks we're going to see other companies and studios looking to then try and do stuff like Expedition, or even having their own spin on it. Could this even have Square Enix making a shift with their own Final Fantasy series that has been more action RPG lately to now shifting back to something more traditional? Or maybe we see remakes of older titles that then retain that older style combat system or a new version of it. Maybe we might see other studios sort of putting their own spin on this as well. I have no idea what we're going to be seeing with this, but if I was a betting man, you know executives are paying attention to this and are going to be asking their game companies and developers to then make stuff like this. What that could mean for us, I don't know. I hope that means that we're going to see more turn-based RPGs coming out within this space. At the same time too, I might even make an additional video on this as well, but other indies, smaller titles not as big as Expedition 33, were also making strides within this space, and I think they also deserve recognition. If you're looking for more stuff as of late, I would suggest taking a look at the likes of Sea of Stars along with Another Crusade 2, two other indies that very much fill the same hole and share similarities to Expedition 33, especially in the combat department. While Expedition is receiving a massive amount of attention, and it deserves it at the same time, I personally want to then direct some of my viewers to other indie games too. It's the likes of indie and AA that seem to be saving the industry right now, and continually shooting more life back into it. More specifically, back to Expedition 33. This is very much taking the industry by storm. I am very happy for the success that this title is seeing, and this is only the beginning for this new studio and what they're going to be making for us. And if the success continues, I can only guess we can expect to see much more from them in the future, and honestly, I cannot wait. I hope all of those developers are enjoying this well-earned set of victories. Great job all around. What are your thoughts on all of this? Do you see Expedition 33 as a success? How will this success affect the industry? Let me know all of this in the comments down below. If you're interested in supporting the channel, please check out my Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you can help to keep this channel going strong, and this allows me to be able to do more for my awesome audience. Please check out the links in the description and pinned comment for ways to support the channel. And most of all, thank you very much for watching.